got some pretty fun stuff here.
All right.
Mandalorian Season 2 theories.
Yes. I'm excited already.
I'm excited too. I tried to find some really crazy ones.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't that many crazy ones. I found one where I looked at it and I was like, "Are you being serious?" And then I was like, "No, he's being serious." Okay, we'll put that on there. So most of these. So we'll say that this is a number of theories and or questions that we need answered from Mandalorian Season 2.
And this is all sourced from fans. None of this is official. None of this is even rumored.
Right.
This is all just...
Well, some of it might be rumored, but we still don't know.
But this is all like unconfirmed theories.
Yeah. So let's start out with a fan theory.
Okay.
Moff Gideon is trying to give himself the Force.
I could see it. Like as we said in that other segment, he very clearly knows something about the Force because he has the Darksaber and he knows that Baby Yoda is important.
Right. So the gist of this comes from Redditor Gremluck.
Okay.
The gist is he wants to steal midichlorians. It says Gideon's endgame. Let's see where. That's not. Oh, I have here written. That's not how the Force works. Because I don't think that's something you can. I don't think you can just give yourself. It's not like communicable. It's not like you take the midichlorians out and like inject it in your arm and all of a sudden you can lift rocks. At least I don't think that's how the Force works.
I mean, we know so little about midichlorians in the current canon that it's hard to say.
Yeah. So Reddit user Gremlick thinks this is all part of Gideon's master plan. He says Gideon's endgame: find out how to give himself the Force, lightsaber, Vader costume. He just needs the one thing he can't easily steal or have made, which is to say he's got the lightsaber, he's got the cool badass costume with a cape. He needs to study Magic Baby in order to figure out how to make midichlorian juice.
Okay.
The theory suggests that Gideon's ultimate goal is to artificially turn himself into a Sith Lord so that he can restore the Empire. It would certainly explain why a seemingly ordinary Imperial leader would have been so obsessed with Jedi-related objects and beings. Also, a really good reminder here, we have no idea how or why he acquired the Darksaber.
Yep.
Which was last heard of during the Imperial era in possession of Bo-Katan.
Yes. The Darksaber is definitely a question the Mandalorian needs to answer this season.
Yeah. But Bo-Katan being a Mandalorian leader, Gideon's possession of a Jedi weapon obviously would play a big role, right? So that's fan theory number one.
Possible.
I find it more plausible than I find most things. It could be that that's what he thinks is going to happen, and he just doesn't know how the Force works.
Well, very few people do.
Yeah, I think that's what would give him room to like have a superstition about it. It's because he's, if he grew up during the Old Republic, he will have known about Jedi, but he will not have met any, or will have killed them all.
Yeah.
And Palpatine is quote unquote dead at this point, like basking in some kind of juice over on Exegol. So he's got no one to ask,
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that Palpatine probably erased most of everything that the Jedi had records on.
He certainly would have done his best. Yeah.
Here's the one thing I gotta find out in the next season.
Okay.
Because I don't think that they can hold it off for more than another season. We need to find out what Baby Yoda's true origins are.
I think we need to at least get a hint in that direction.
Yeah. For example, does he have a name?
Yes.
So we're gonna start real basic. Does he have a name? Does he have parents? Is he a clone? Is it an immaculate conception thing like Anakin? Does he walk through a world between worlds thing, turn into a human, and then he's Jesus Christ? Right? How was he discovered?
Yeah.
So someone hired a bounty hunter to go kidnap the little bitch. Someone had to have known that he was important, so he had to have popped up on someone's radar somewhere, is what I'm saying. Is his entire race Force sensitive? Because
that's an interesting question.
100% of Yoda's species that we've met so far, all Force sensitive. Now, they might
small
be
sample size.
Yeah, well, we don't know what size sample it is. They could be the only 3 in existence.
That's possible, but in absolute terms, 3 is a very small sample size.
Yes. So that's what I need. My soul needs that.
Yeah. Because if I know one thing about you, it's that while Luke Skywalker is the center of your religion, Yoda is like the first saint.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. Man, that's about as religion as I get, though, I will say. Here's another. This is a theory, but it's kind of a blanket statement.
Okay.
Characters from the animated shows will be introduced, which would include Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan, or Sabine Wren. I don't think you watched a whole bunch of Rebels yet.
Not a ton. I do remember hearing rumors in months past that someone had been cast as Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, it's what's her name from Rent?
Okay.
Shit, what does she play in Rent? She's got the one song in that musical I hate. I just can't remember what her name is right now. But there were rumors a couple months ago that she had been cast and everything, as Ahsoka.
Yes.
So Sabine is a Mandalorian from Rebels, who's pretty young.
She's the painter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The painter. She'd probably not really like to be called a painter.
Yeah.
She's more like a graffiti artist.
Okay.
With a good eye. So this is the thing about Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren being characters. They both have connections to the Darksaber. Just inherently in that they're Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Sabine, I think would be pretty cool because she's not an adopted Mandalorian. She's not a foundling.
Yeah.
She's like 100% grass-fed Mandalorian. And that would be a pretty interesting foil against
Mando Dad.
The Mando, yeah. Din Djarin, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call him the Mando.
Mando Dad.
Yeah. So it'd be kind of cool to see if they come into contact. She might have some information on Mandalorian culture, depending on what happened to the Mandalorians, that he doesn't know.
Well, maybe, but like it seemed like he was pretty well immersed in that Mandalorian culture group,
Or at least that one little sect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it never seemed like he was ostracized or outcasted or anything. Like
Well, if anything, they sought him out.
Yeah.
They tried to find him and bring him in.
But like he within that pocket of Mandalorian culture, he seemed like he fit in. Like that was where he belonged. And I maybe Sabine's pocket of Mandalorian culture is a little more exclusionary, but it strikes me as just like if you're already this relatively small minority in the galaxy that the Mandalorians are, it doesn't seem like that would be the occasion to be playing, well, I'm the true Mandalorian. No, I'm the true Mandalorian.
Yeah. I agree. It really depends on what we still don't exactly know what being a Mandalorian is right now.
Yeah.
Because like whatever little piece that the Mando comes from could be like a guy that wasn't even a Mandalorian that's like, you know what?
This armor's cool. I like that jetpack. Let's get them.
We're going to be Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Now let's go find some babies.
Yeah.
Right? Or it could have been that sect of Mandalorianism or whatever was, most of them were wiped out and it's an attempt at self-preservation for the Mandalorians.
Could be.
Yeah, it's complex because of that question has to be answered first before we know anything else about what being a Mandalorian is like in this time period. Another question. What is the former Empire's plan for Baby Yoda?
That's been a question since day one.
Now, if you prescribe to the Moff Gideon is trying to inject himself with Mandalorian or midichlorian juice.
Yeah, you just kind of suck the midichlorians out of Baby Yoda and slurp them up.
Yeah, that would answer this question. If you don't, there are a couple of other things to consider. They were about to do something to Baby Yoda when so Mando hands him off to the Imperials,
and there's doctors and scientists and shit.
He goes back to his ship.
He's like, wait,
his little ball thing is missing.
Yeah,
he starts to miss him a little bit, and so he goes and kills everybody to save him. Right, and you're right. There are some curious things during that whole assault. The first curious thing is like Dr. Pershing, the doctor with the Kaminoan cloning patch, allegedly. There was also that there's an IT-0 interrogator droid. Which, what do you need an interrogator droid for a child? Or is it just because it had a big needle on it? And they're like, that looks pretty cool.
Might be it. Like it might be modified for sciencey experiments.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. you're right too that they had him dressed up with them, so they were like scanning him and they were probing him and touching him and stuff. That sounded way different in my head than what I just said out loud. But
I mean, it makes sense. It's supposed to be creepy. It's creepy biology experimentation stuff,
forcey stuff. Yeah. So that kind of suggests that they have some kind of plan for him. So.
Side question.
Yeah.
Do you think the showrunners know what they're doing with Baby Yoda, and do you think they knew when they started at the very beginning of the show?
I hope so. When they started the show, maybe not. But I think if we've learned anything from the sequel trilogy, you need to have some of this shit planned out. You can't just go, fuck it, wing it, put Palpatine in there.
The next director will figure it out. Let's just throw all this shit on the wall.
Yeah. And that's... Like, you don't have the Palpatine card in every fucking series, right? You can't just say, oh, it's Palpatine all the time.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You and I realize this.
Yeah.
Does Disney realize
Oh, God, I hope so.
I hope so,
I
too.
really hope so. So, yeah, that's obviously something on our minds.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't so important. This is a question I'd like to have answered that will connect to something else later. But it would be nice to know. It doesn't need to be story-centric. It doesn't have to be super important. But I would like to know a little bit about what the three characters in the original trilogy are up to.
Yes.
So Luke, Han, and Leia. Are they off building the New Republic? Is Luke and Han, like, they had a kid, so they're doing a whole bunch of fucking, is all I'm saying. Like, it'd be nice to know, like, are they trying to build a family? Is, at what point, Han and Chewie go to, liberate Kashyyyk? So it'd be kind of cool to know, like, what they're up to. Go ahead.
So this is what, 5-10 years after Return of the Jedi?
Like 9 years?
9 years?
I think.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
So...
Or 7. I think it's an odd number. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Either way, my intuition at this point is that Leia would primarily be involved in politics.
Yeah.
Because the First Order isn't around yet. She doesn't have any reason to go...
Well, yeah, because the Empire is still, like, creeping around.
So Leia is probably building the New Republic, and it's going to be very hard to find a reason for the Mandalorian to go interact with her specifically. Han, I don't know. Like that's the wild card in this. I have no idea what Han and Chewie would be doing.
Most of the time, Han doesn't even know what Han and Chewie are doing.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna say Han is probably hanging out with Leia, maybe being her muscle,
making babies.
Also that, yes. Luke is probably off doing Jedi stuff, or looking for Jedi stuff.
Well, yeah, I think at this point with Luke, I don't think anyone knows where he is, because he doesn't straight up disappear like what leads up to Force Awakens.
Yeah,
but he does kind of drop off the map.
Yeah, the Battlefront single player mission where your Imperial Trooper meets Luke. When does that happen?
Oh, so you're talking about Pilio, the bug planet, right?
Yeah, the vault.
Okay, so that's still during the era of the Empire. This is after they enacted Operation Cinder.
Okay.
And because he runs into Del Meeko on Pilio, and Del Meeko is there to destroy the Emperor's Observatory.
Yeah, so this would have been, what, 2 or 3 years after Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so presumably Luke is still out looking for Jedi artifacts and maybe Jedi candidates, but he probably hasn't settled down into his new academy yet?
Definitely not candidates. I don't think he's looking for candidates.
Okay.
I don't think he's... There's a lot about Luke that we don't know about. I would bet a lot of money that he probably takes a lot of time avoiding looking for candidates because of how little he personally knows about being a Jedi and teaching how to be a Jedi.
Which would be an interesting departure from Legends, because, like, have you read the Truce at Bakura?
Oh, hell yeah, I have.
So, like, his first thought in that book is, I need to find more Jedi.
Right.
Like he gets off the Death Star 2, he goes to the party. First thought, I need more Jedi.
Yeah. What a shit book. I'm so sorry. I do not like that book at all. It was probably because I read it when I was really little and I had trouble keeping up with it.
Yeah, okay.
There was some pretty, boring shit.
Well, you don't like dinosaurs that enslave souls to power their spaceships?
Yeah, there was that whole thing where, like, Leia was, like, flirting with the one guy and Han was getting pissed off about it, and it's a bunch of shit I didn't care about as, like, a middle schooler. But yeah, I think that would be. I think that canon Luke now is probably a lot more tentative about stuff like that. So are you ready for a crazy theory?
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, this comes from Redditor, Our Warm Opal.
Okay.
Which, just saying that makes me feel weird. He thinks that Werner Herzog's character, the client, is none other than Jedi Master Sifo Dyas.
Ooh.
Mentioned by name in the prequel trilogy, the Jedi is never shown on screen, except that's false. He was shown on screen in Clone Wars. But he's the one responsible for commissioning the clone army that goes on to play such a key role in the Star Wars lore. The client is clearly tied to some aspect of cloning. I think he means by Dr. Purging.
Yeah.
But he would be teaming up with the remnants of the Empire. The one part of this that I don't think is super crazy, he's not Sifo Dyas. Sorry.
Probably not.
That's not true.
It's very unlikely.
Yeah. It would be an interesting flip if he was one of the escaped Jedi. Like, because if Vader's dead, and he's like one of the Jedi that was able to like go and get married or stay off Vader's radar for long enough, and like Vader dies, and he's like, oh, okay, well, it's safe to come out now. And he's like, it'd be really fun if I went and took over the Empire.
How very Jedi of him.
Yeah. And he's like, it would really sell my lies if I put this giant Imperial emblem on my chest.
Yeah.
Which I don't, in itself, I don't think that's likely either, even.
No.
Yeah, I think he was just an officer, because he looks like one of those old, Nazi-ish blokes,
You're just saying that because he's German.
Yeah. That Dave Filoni, who famously animated and was the creative director for all of Clone Wars and Rebels, had never shot a live-action scene before in his life until Mandalorian. And his first live-action shot was with Werner Herzog, who is probably one of the most notoriously brilliant directors of all time.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
That's got to be intimidating.
Yeah, no shit. So here's my last question, and we've brought this up before, but I'm bringing it up again because this is coming out soon.
Because it's just that important.
And I want people to know that I thought it first. Because if it's true, I'll know it will have really validated how much I've thought about stupid shit like this.
Okay.
So if there's a Force-sensitive child, if there's a former Imperial with a Darksaber, and an interest in the Force by this whole part of the former Empire, how does Luke Skywalker not know about it? And how, if he knows about it, is he not putting his fucking hands in it?
It's an interesting question. My first reaction is that he's like all the way on the other side of the galaxy looking for Jedi stuff.
Okay, but he's Luke Skywalker.
True. He might. Okay, yeah. I think like Jedi Master Luke Skywalker would probably be able to sense that something was going on and
he wouldn't even need to sense it. I don't think. I think that Luke could be at a bar at some like weird distant planet, like trying to find a Jedi outpost or something, and hear someone be like, "Did you hear about that crazy fucking Imperial guy? It's like a black lightsaber." And Luke would be like, "What?" And he'd be like, "Okay, I'm going to go find that now because that sounds, first of all, kind of cool, and second of all,
really fucking dangerous.
No one can have lightsabers, just me." So yeah, it's. I think that I can't imagine how Luke Skywalker does not fit into this story somehow. I get that Ahsoka Tano, because she and Sabine are probably trying to find Ezra from Rebels.
Yes.
Spoiler alert: he disappears. I'm sorry. So does Thrawn. So he's not even confirmed dead either. So during their thing, they probably hear about the Darksaber, and Sabine's like, "Hey, that used to be mine. Fuck that guy." But Luke's gonna hear about it too. And while it'd be really cool, and it would be terrible for Moff Gideon for Ahsoka Tano to be on your fucking tail, the second that Luke Skywalker finds out that you have that, like, you might as well just put it down and say you never saw it and just try to run.
Yeah.
Because like there's not. I mean, at this point, if you read some of the like immediate post Return of the Jedi comics that are canon now, Luke becomes terrifyingly amazing at the Force very fast, where he storms an entire Imperial. Okay, so Luke takes Poe Dameron's mother, who's a pilot. He's like, drive me here. And she's like, well, fuck you. I thought you were a pilot. And he's like, don't worry about it. Take me there. And
need a getaway pilot.
Yeah. So they land, and there's like a building guarded by stormtroopers. And she's like, you're going to go in there. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, that's probably full of stormtroopers. And he's like, don't worry about it. And so he just like walks in, and she's watching like, what the fuck? Some time goes by. Luke sprints out of this building with a tree under his arm and a lightsaber. He's like, start the fucking car. Actually, he has 2 trees. I'm sorry. He has 2 trees under his arm. And he gives one of them as a gift to her. And he keeps the other one. Who knows what they did with it. But
Jedi tree.
Yeah, he's not even worried about this like this entire platoon or whatever of stormtroopers. So it's like, that's the kind of Luke Skywalker we're dealing with right now. It's the kind of guy that runs in and steals trees. We're not talking about after his nephew has burned everything down.
Yeah.
And he's in a deep, dark depression.
Like, this is the point in Luke Skywalker's life where he can take on the entire empire with just a laser sword.
Yeah, he's building the legend. Yeah. Like, that's what he's doing. And I don't understand how Luke Skywalker isn't a part of the story at some point. Anyway.
You just want to see Bucky or whatever that actor's name is.
Oh, yeah. Sebastian
Shaw. Yep.
Or Shaw.
Shaw? Stan. I think it's Stan. I think Shaw is a comic book character.
Sebastian Shaw might have been the actor that played Vader's fucked up face in Return of the Jedi.
Could be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. If you have some better Mandalorian theories.
Or some crazier ones.
Yeah. We'll look at them. We don't care. It's like, what the fuck else are we going to do?
We love crazy theories.
Yeah. We got nothing to do either. So make sure that you stop by our Facebook page. Check us out on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter. And we do Battlefront 2 streams pretty much nightly.
We're doing in just a few minutes now.
Yep. Right? And we're going to be doing, we're going to be playing Squadrons. I'm probably going to pull out Jedi Fallen Order again at some point. I want to play Star Wars Pod Racers.
Oh, we talked about Shadows of the Empire last time.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
We should get on that.
Yeah. So, anyway, check us out. We do a lot of stuff. We post a lot of funny memes. And we like to talk about Star Wars. So, check us out if you like that kind of thing. Let us know.